What's up, my friends? So I've been chugging away on the Ninja 250 / RD350, and what I'm starting to attack now, I've been working on the tank, getting the tank totally flat. There was a couple of dents here, and there was a dent here, and I've just been working with actually bondoed here and here, and I've just been working on leveling it out and then filler primer to kind of get it flat. But I just started working on the fairing, and something I was contemplating doing originally. So if you've been following this, you know this bike came naked. It had a headlight and a gauge cluster. I got all the stuff to do the fairing, so I just got this fairing. I've been working on a little bit. My thought was, well, if I have the fairing, obviously do the mirrors, which I got coming, and then I'll do the turn signals. But then I started thinking about it, and I thought, you know, the rear fender has turn signals coming out of it, and I just think it would be such a cleaner look on this bike with no signals. So I made these little filler plates out of, they're actually the plastic out of the dividers for my all my nuts and bolts and everything. So I've been shaping these and working with these, and originally I was going to do, I was thinking of, you know, doing aluminum or metal, you know, and then obviously it's going to get painted. But I think what I'm going to do, I've got these so close, they just need a little bit of shaping. But I think what I'm just going to do is use like a nice 2-part epoxy and then just glue them on. And then this is all getting painted. And I just removed the decal, which is tough. You guys will be with me. We'll do the other one on the other side. But I just think it's going to be a really neat, clean look without signals. And the scheme that I've got thought up, I actually ordered the paint today, so it's going to be RZ yellow, black with like a block pattern that's going to follow the contour line on the tank. And then, so black and then yellow on the side panels, and then black at the lower part of the side panel. I think it's going to look good. If it comes out anywhere near how I have it thought out in my brain, it should be really neat. So let's attack this. So this is probably a 20-year-old decal, and there's a couple of different methods when you're trying to get these off. On cars or on metal, I've been using those rubber wheels that you can attach to your drill, but I just don't know how that would react on this fairing. So it's going to use a little heat, and it's really slow going. It took me a few tries on the other side to kind of figure out what technique. So basically what I do is heat it up. Fortunately, it's not under the clear. So this one's going to need to get heated up a little bit. I just need to kind of get it started. And then it's just kind of this weird dance with heating it up, peeling it. Other side took me about a half an hour. It wasn't horrible. I was really happy to find all the parts that I need to add the fairing. I just think it's going to be such a better looking bike with a fairing on it, with the original Ninja 250 fairing on it. It's going to be a nicer look. So this was kind of the tough part, was getting it started. I wonder if I should work, maybe I could work from this side. After I get this decal off, then I'm going to start prepping this, start getting it ready. So I have like the best painter in the world, and he's probably watching this. But, you know, some bikes I get, and I just don't have the budget for him. Jason's just does amazing work. And there's a saying, good, fast, and cheap. You can pick two. Jason is good, and he's quick, but he's not cheap, rightfully so. So what I'm going to do, just for ones like this where I don't have enough margin to have him paint it, I'm going to, and I don't really want to have that many of those. It just works out that way sometimes. This is going to be a kind of a weird bike, you know, for the kind of the right buyer, if there even is a buyer that's going to want this thing. So I really can't dump $2 grand on a paint job. So I ordered a portable paint booth and a paint gun, and I'm a wizard at spray paint. So I know I'm not saying that that's going to automatically make me good with painting, but I've got a little, it's like telling someone that you're great at flying kites and you think you could fly a jumbo jet. I know there's a lot to learn, but I've been using spray cans since I was like 11 years old. I understand paint. I understand prepping techniques and methods and so on and so forth. And I just think if I got a professional gun, professional paint, and a good, they make this inflatable paint booth. I know, it's hilarious. There we go. And I think I'll be able to pull off a pretty good paint job on this one. We'll see. We'll see how it comes out. See, just getting this thing started is tricky. If you heat it up too much, then the decal gets thin and it breaks. You just want to heat it up enough so that it's loosening the glue. Oh, and then it tears. Once I get it completely going, it'll be much better, but this is going to be the fiddly part right here. So right now I'm just waiting on parts. I'll tell you one thing, when you restore bikes, you spend a lot of time waiting on parts. So this bike, since I'm changing it to a 350, I had to get different studs for the motor because it's got a little bit taller cylinder on it, and the existing cylinder studs I've heard you can use them, but I don't want to take any chances. So I'm waiting on that, and that's kind of holding everything up. There's the cylinders right there. Elmer went through them and made them really nice, chamfered all the edges of the ports, and then honed them so they're ready to go. But it's like I can't do anything without the studs. And then the front up here had a big brake kit, which was a little bit on the goofy side, so I got rid of that. That's the new bracket down there, and I'm painting. I got to clean up clean up the caliper that came with it, and then put that together, put the fender on it. Okay, now we're rolling. And then I have to wait for the disc. So I'm waiting on the disc to come. We had snow and ice the last 2 days, so all the deliveries got slowed down. And it seems like when you really need a part, you get really used to how Amazon is. Seems like when you really need a part, those are the ones that take forever to get here. But one thing that was neat was that for making these, came out really neat, didn't it? I had ordered the mounts for the turn signals, and I got them today, and I was able to use them as a template for making these and then trimming those. And then I can just put them back in the bag and send them back. So that worked out. See how fiddly this is? I just need to get this side up and then, okay. Oh, it's so fiddly. Just enough so it kind of weakens the glue a bit. There we go. Come on, my friend. My black and yellow friend. Oh, whoops. See my little, and then you can feel when it starts holding again. Here, I'll do this. What I don't want to do is burn the fairing, obviously. So you guys that know me know that I grew up in Southern California, and it's January 2025, and right now California is completely wrecked. I grew up near Malibu, and I was watching a bunch of footage of the aftermath of the fires from Malibu, and I'm just sick to my stomach, and I was feeling a little bit down today, and a little bit gloomy, and I saw that, and I just thought, get up. There's people that are going through a lot worse things than you're going through. A lot worse. I mean, there is a mountain. It's like if you look at some of the footage, it's like Russia declared war on Malibu and bombed it. I mean, it is so bad. And I lived in California for damn near 40 years, and I've been through fires out there since I was little, but I've never seen anything like that. It's bad, and I think there's going to be massive future problems, repercussions. I don't know how they're ever going to build back. I mean, I don't think a lot of those people are going to be able to build back for a multitude of reasons. But one thing is, a lot of the houses that burned at north of Topanga on PCH, the Coastal Commission, if you're familiar with California, the California Coastal Commission is very Nazi-like, and they've wanted that eminent domain for many years to widen PCH. I don't think those people are going to be able to rebuild those properties. They'll tie it up in permits and what have you. But anyway, I'm getting into a political commentary here. We're here working on bikes. So anyway, you see what I'm doing? See, if you don't heat it up enough, then it's difficult. It's really a balance between just the right amount of heat, loosen the glue, but not weaken the decal. And when I get it right, you can kind of feel it. It's a little bit. And the trick is when you're peeling a decal like this, you want to try and, you don't want to pull it out far because it gets weak. You keep grabbing it close to the body because the more you pull on it and stretch it, the weaker it's getting. So if you're trying to remove a decal, always grab it close to the body or whatever you're pulling it off of. Kawasa. You know, I've gotten so into restoring bikes and I've gotten very good at it, like putting them back to 100% stock, or close. But I don't really ever get a chance to do a bike that kind of makes a name for myself. I think this will be one of them. The gentleman that I bought it off of had already done the conversion to an RD350, so that was the big chunk of the work. But really this kind of, I don't know, just didn't get the, I mean, just, you know what? I'm sure it was for his vision of what he wanted, but I saw it in its form and I thought, man, there's a lot of potential there. So that's why I'm doing things like tracking down the fairing, and I've done if you've been following this build, I've done a lot of refinishing. I mean, the forks were black, the swing arm was black, the wheels were black, everything was black. I've painted just about every surface on this bike, including the frame and the motor side cases and what have you. I want to try and get this off in one piece from here. What do you think? Think I have the skills? I don't know. I don't know, man. Just stop talking about Malibu and politics. Focus on your work. Doing this kind of stuff, guys, is very therapeutic. You get out, you turn the lights on, get your mind off other things. Oh, that's really good. Look at that. Don't get greedy. See, you just want to keep pulling because you're doing good, but then it gets, the adhesive is still intact up here. It's no bueno. So what I'll do after I get this off is I'll hit this. I have this stuff made for adhesive. I'm going to lose the battery on this, my heat gun. I'll let that sit on it a while, and then tomorrow I'll probably start prepping it for paint and primer. Oh, see? You idiot. I just had to get greedy. Haven't I taught you anything? All right. Oh, there goes my battery. All right, let's get a little, okay, we need a battery. So I've got two gold wings right now. This one is pretty much perfect, needs nothing. This one's ready to be sold. This is a 93. It's got 53,000 miles on it. Bear with me, guys. And I've got the 95 yonder, and that one had been sitting for 12 years. So that was a massive cleanup on the fuel system, the fuel tank, the carbs, everything. Right now it's waiting for a new fuel gauge sender. Other than that, that thing's pretty much ready to go. I had to do some weird stuff with switching out the seat. He had bought a seat made for a trike, and when I bought the bike, it was non-running. And I went to ride it and put the seat on it, and the seat was super wide because it was made for a trike, and I could barely touch the ground. So I had to get that all situated. I found a used seat in good shape. I'm trying to sell the seat that came with it, because the seat that came with it was brand new from Hartco, who kind of specializes in seats like that. I assume it was made for a trike because it's so wide you can't touch the ground. I just assumed that's what it is. Either that or somebody really made an error. But I'm 6'2", and if I'm only able to touch the ground with my tippy toes, I can't imagine anybody shorter being able to ride it. Oh, I was just about to say, I think I can get it off on one last piece. So this should do it right here. And you know, finding this, the neat thing about these bikes, these Ninja 250s, the first gens, the parts are out there and cheap. I got this fairing for like 50, I think it was between like, I think it was like 70 bucks delivered, and it's in good shape. Tomorrow I'll remove the reflectors and scuff this. I'll probably delete these side fender, these side things. They just kind of look goofy. I'll probably just fill the hole and leave those off. I think it'll be a much cleaner look without it. Who needs side reflectors anyway? Somebody's gonna plow into me from the side on a car going fast. I don't know if I want to survive that. Yeah, I probably do, but I'll risk it. All right, last piece. Come on, people. Let's say goodbye to it. Oh, of course it's going to splinter up because it's dinged. Finish strong. Come on. It's not finishing strong at all. All right. Last dig. Come on. You can do it. I'll tell you a funny story also, since you've waited this long in this video and watched. When the bike was naked, before I had the idea of putting the stock fairings back on it, the way that it was set up, obviously it didn't have this fairing. So when I bought the bike, he had some Yamaha logo things glued on here, and this one was just, this mount was sticking out. So I thought, if it's going to be a naked bike, I don't need that anymore, and I cut it off. Fortunately, I kept them, and I had to re-weld these back on, but they came out nice. I just lined up the fairing again and then marked. How did I do it? I lined up the fairing, I lined up the hole here, and then I was holding the piece and then came in with a marker, pulled the fairing back and marked it. Anyway, I think they're dead on now. So just pop off of its little, so yeah, oh yeah, the tank, there we go. So it's like a perfect fit. So put some stuff on here, get the glue off, and then prep this, get it ready for paint, and then start prepping the tail section and the side panels. So yeah, that's where we're at. All right, guys, I appreciate you watching. If you're on YouTube, like and subscribe would be awesome. I'd appreciate it. It would help me. And that's that. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Take care.